Good morning. This is Tom Tanner with the Roanoke Regional Small Business Development Center. I want to give you an update on the Rebuild Virginia grant program. Some major changes came out today on Wednesday, the 28th, and we're just going to kind of go through some of those changes and kind of give you some tips of how to apply for the grant. So first off, the grant is now available to all categories. So it didn't just fall under certain categories that were affected. It's pretty much every business category. Now, there are other categories requirements is one, has to be your principal place of business is in Virginia, but you can now have 250 employees and less, and you can be doing $10 million in revenue or less. You do have to be operating prior to March 12th, 2020, currently good standing with the SEC, you're engaged in legal activities, and you can't be delinquent on Virginia income taxes, or if you are, at least you have a plan in place, and that none of the owners who are 20% or more are delinquent in child support more than 60 days. So the other big change is it's up to $100,000 of reimbursements, no longer $10,000. And remember, this is a grant, not a loan. So it's going to reimburse you for 3 months of your rent expense. It's going to reimburse you for 3 months of payroll to include health benefits, reimburse you for mortgage, utilities, principal and interest on business loans, any safety and equipment supplies that you purchased. So what do you need to apply for this? So when you gather everything together. So one thing you need is what we call a DUNS number. And this is a number assigned by Dun & Bradstreet for businesses to do government work or government contracting. And the state of Virginia requires it in order to pay you. And I'll show you in a minute how you do that. You need a copy of an ID for all your owners. It could be driver's license, passport, or some sort of ID. You also need to complete this Virginia W-9 form, which I'll also show you. If you have rent to pay that you want to be reimbursed for, you have to have a copy of the lease dated before March 20th. If you have payroll, which includes benefits, you're going to need to include proof of payment, such as the IRS 941, third-party payroll forms. If you're an independent contractor or sole proprietor, or Schedule C. If you're treated as a partner, then maybe Schedule SC, just something to show that you've received payroll. If you have a mortgage payment, and this is principal and interest, they will want to see June, July, and August of 2020 statement from the bank. They're looking for June, July, and August, no other periods. Utilities, this would include telephone, include electrical, water, things like that, gas. All you have to do is have 1 month's bill. This is not just show that you pay it, but you need to show that you actually have a bill. And what they'll do is take that amount and multiply it by 3. If you have a business loan, you can get reimbursed for principal and interest on any business loan. So what you want to do is include a copy of 3 months worth of business interest and loan to show that it was a business loan and show that you paid principal and interest. So not just a check, it needs to show something that this is an actual business loan, and show it between September 19th and August 2020 period. You also need 2019 business tax return. If you're a sole prop, at least your Schedule C. Also need 2020 interim financial statement, and this is basically to show how much business you've done this year, because it's not based on the amount of income produced, in other words, profit or anything else. It's solely on how much income you've produced in 2020 versus 2019. If on a per case monthly basis, you're doing more business in 2020 than you did in 2019, you will not qualify. It doesn't matter whether or not you're making a whole lot less profit. If your income is higher, your total revenue is higher in 2020 than it was in 2019, you will not qualify. So safety equipment supplies, if you purchased any like COVID supplies that you did not already pay for under other CARES funding. So a DUNS number, Here's the URL that you would go to, and basically you just go to the bottom, select why you're applying for it. So in this case here, I put in it's a U.S. based business, which is what you're going to do. I'll just enter information. This is a Roanoke Chambers information, and just to show you, would enter that information and hit search, and it would come up. If there's a DUNS number already assigned, then it would come up, and you'd be surprised. I asked a lot of clients, do you have a DUNS number? And they say no, but then we do a search and find out they do. So there may be a DUNS number for you. If you do, all you have to do is click on email DUNS number, and it'll ask you for an email address, and it'll automatically send you that DUNS number. It doesn't matter whether you're the email record. It's going to send it to whatever email address you put in there. If you don't have a DUNS number, you have to go through the process of doing that. Sometimes it's, they'll send you the DUNS number within an hour or so. Sometimes it takes 24 hours. So keep that in consideration if you don't have a DUNS number. So the other form you need is the W-9 form, and the W-9 form is the request for a taxpayer identification number. You'll also notice there's a request for your DUNS number to also put in here. So it's going to ask you for your employer identification number, or if you're a sole proprietor, social security number, the DUNS number, your legal name, your type of entity structure, and then your contact information. Pretty straightforward, but that is a required form. So the website itself, I showed you at the very beginning, is that you would log on and it would show you this particular application. You would click on the blue box, grant application. It'll take you through the application. I'm not going to do that because that's a long drawn-out process. I just wanted to show you in the event, once you submitted your grant application, if you come back into this same login point, you'll see where it says, in this case here, this business has an active status. So I can click on that name and it would take me into the next screen, which would say, here's your application number. It shows it's been received, the amount of grant I've requested, and the date created. So if I want more information, I can click on the application number, and then in turn would take me into this screen here, list your business name, who applied. In this case here, they were awarded the money because you can see there's a check number and a check date. It does say there's a grant requested amount of $4,500, but down here it says grant approved for $3,278. I have no idea why the 100% wasn't approved. They don't give you any reason. They basically send you the money. So it's very difficult to find out anything else. So if you get the money, just take it. Now, you'll notice a little flag down here. It's a green flag. A green flag basically means it's in processing. Somebody has looked at it. If it's a red flag, it's still waiting for somebody to physically take a look at it. So last thing is processing time. You're looking anywhere between 14 and 20 days. They say 14 days, but it can, with all the increase in activity, it could go up to 20 days. Once you're approved, if you're approved, if you're not approved, that little status would show ineligible or something like that. After that, expect about 14 more days to receive the check after approval. Okay? If you have any notifications, you need to send anybody an email. Here's the email that you will send request to. And that's pretty much it. Let us know if we can help you in any way. We'll be glad to reach out, assist you with the application process or whatever you need. Thank you for watching.